Alright, sorry about that, boys and girls. This is lesson 11, part 2. That first video is part 1. We haven't really started anything on the worksheet quite yet, but we did go over the alphabet in the first thing, and then in middle sounds and words. So you can go back and listen to that one if you haven't already. But we're going to move on to practicing our sounds. So I'm going to say a sound. I want you to write down the letter. On number 1, we have ah. So when you say ah, and then O is our letter, and I want you to write it down. All right. Number 2 is I. I. I want you to write down, I want you to say I, and then it's I, and then I want you to write I down. Number 3 is ul. Ul, it's I or L, and then we're going to write down an L. Number 4 is Z. 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 Z, and then we're going to write down our Z. Number 5 is A. 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 Number 6 is T. 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 And T. Let's write it down. Number 7 is O. 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 And O to write down. Number 8 is P. 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 Write our P down. Number 9 is I. 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 We're going to write down I. Number 10 is A. 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 And we're going to write down A. Alright, that's number 1 through 10 on there. Next, I'm going to have you echo some words for me. We have sip, sip, sit, sit, sal, sal. What sound do you hear at the beginning of each of those? Alright, put your fingers on your vocal cord when you say S. Do you feel a vibration? I don't feel a vibration, so it's an unvoiced sound, which means no vibration. Alright, let's look at these words. We have sip, sit, and sal. Does anyone notice how I put a capital S there? That's because Sal is a name. So we make a capital S at the beginning of Sal. Alright, what letter do you see here in the beginning of each word? I just said it when I said the capital. I gave it away. It's an S. So the S sound is an S. All these words begin with S. Is S a consonant or a vowel? If you're not sure, you can look on here. We can see that it's in black right here. So it's a consonant. All right. Now I want you to echo these words for me. Is, as, and has. What sound are you hearing in that final position? It's a Z sound, isn't it? Let's look at these words on the board. What letter do you notice at the end of these words? It's making that Z sound. It's an S. An S is making that Z sound in there. So S makes 2 sounds. It makes the S and the Z. Let's feel our throats for the Z sound. Is it voiced or unvoiced? Z. It's voiced. We feel that vibration in there. So we code this with a special mark so that we know it makes that Z sound. It's an S with a line through it. All right, we're going to move along. Let's practice skywriting an S. S's are kind of, we just did Z's, and S's are kind of like Z's, just in that the uppercase and lowercase look the same, they're just smaller. So for an S, let's see if I can get this backwards. We're going to start up here. We're going to make a kind of a bump up, down, and a loop is going to give us an S. And then the lowercase is going to be the same, but we're going to start in the middle and go around. So get your paper out. Oh, that's the homework side. Here, we're going to practice writing a couple S's together. So we're going to start not at the exact top, but kind of in the middle of the two lines, about here. And we're going to go up to the top with a curve. We're going to come across and down with another curve. We're going to touch the bottom and curve back up. And then the same thing with lowercase, but it's going to be lowercase. All right, go ahead and write another S for me, capital and lowercase, while I'm getting us ready for the next part. All right, we're going to talk about our keywords for S. We have two keywords because we have two sounds, kind of like a vowel, but it's in a consonant. It's going to make two sounds. All right, our first sound for S, this is a star that's really, really far away. It's a bright ball of fire that shines in the sky, and it keeps the earth warm. Does anybody know what it is? It is sun. So when we see this card, we'll say sun, S. Sun, S. All right. Our next card, this is a flower that you'd find in a garden. It's beautiful, but if you're not careful, it has thorns and it could poke you. It comes in lots of colors, although a lot of times we see them red, and then they smell very nice. Do you know what it could be? It's a rose. So rose is spelled R-O-S-E, but the S makes that Z sound in it. So when we see this, we'll say rose, Z, S. All right, let's add these. All right, so I want you to make the Z sound. What letter makes this Z sound? Some of you might have said a Z, because we did just talk about Z, and that is the sound it makes. But it can also be an S. So let's look at this. Oopsie. It can be Z or S. Z and S both make the Z sound, but it's not Z-S. We need something to separate them that tells us that there's different spellings. So when we're coding, we can put Z, comma, S. And that shows us there's kind of a pause in between there. Alrighty, let's practice some words. Okay. Let's look at this one. We're going to practice coding. So look at this word. Do you see a vowel in it? Yeah, I is the vowel. Do we see a consonant afterward? We do. So how are we going to code that? We're going to code it with a brev. So it's p-I-t. Let's look at this word. Is there a consonant after it? There isn't. So in this case, we're going to code it with a macron, and it says its name. S-O. Good job. Get your worksheet out. We're going to code the words on the worksheet. Number 13 is sip. All right, there's a vowel and a consonant, so it's going to get breath. Sip. Number 14. I need a drink of water, guys. I've been talking too much today. Number 14. Lost my place. Oh, lot. L-O-T. Here we have a vowel and a consonant, so it gets a brev. Lot. Lot. And number 15 is, again, we have just a vowel and a consonant. It gets the brev, and it's is. All right, number 16, we're going to practice some spelling. Our first word, we're going to use the same kind of skills we just learned here. Our first word is going to be pat. At. At. Go ahead and write down how you think you're going to spell that. We know it's 3 letters, and we have 3 sounds. P, A, T, T. All right, the next one is tip. T, I, P, T, I, P. Again, we have 3 spots. T. We're gonna write down our T, I, and P, tip. All right, our last word is so. S-O. 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 All right, good job. On number 19 and 20, we are going to spell what those pictures are. Number 19 could be really confusing if you weren't exactly sure what was going on in that picture. Do you see it? Does anyone know? They are getting sap from a tree. That's what's happening in that picture, in case you weren't sure. Miss White wasn't sure, so it's okay if you weren't sure either. Number 19. Sap. And then number 20. We've been practicing this word a lot. It's written on there. And then what is she telling that dog? No. N-O. N-O. No. All right, that's it for our worksheet. But you do have a backside. There's some homework. I want you to practice writing some S's. And then I want you to try coding the words, just like we did on the other side. They're all same kind of coding, brev or a macron for the short or long. A brev is the short sound, and it looks like the little kind of loop. And then the macron is straight. Straight. Okay, and that's when the vowel says its name. You're going to do that. Then you're going to draw a line to match the picture for which one matches. And then over here, you're going to write down, sound out and write down how to spell each of these. Remember, this one is top. Top. Over here are high frequency words. I think you should know about those by now, but we are going to practice reading those to somebody at home, because those are words that we want you to be able to look at and recognize right away. All right, that's all for today, boys and girls. Thank you.